Welcome back, everybody. All right, so kind of, I don't want to say it's big news because it's not, but it kind of feels like it is because the Vancouver Canucks have claimed Travis Boyd, which I kind of said yesterday they should do. Boyd's a useful bottom six guy, and again, there are other players he's played with before who are currently members of the Canucks. I think it's a good move to pick him up, and with injuries and things have been going on with the Canucks lately. Sure, go ahead, add him on. In a season like this, if you can add a veteran player without losing anything off your roster, sure, do that. And if this leads to the Canucks eventually having a reasonably priced bottom six that's also effective, I'm sign me up. I'm all signed up for that. So yeah, and somehow I picture Jim Benning as waiting patiently for the next one. I just picture him right there at the building waiting to see who Kyle Dubas lets out the door next. He's like, "Hey, I'm going to go to Vancouver. All right, come on, we'll take you to Vancouver. Just tell him to wave you. Just we'll take you." My suggestion's Mikheyev next. Sure, why not? Let's just wave Mikheyev next. That'd be great. That'd be great. I will thank Toronto endlessly if they waved Mikheyev next and he was the next one to go to Vancouver. So yeah, Travis Boyd on his way to Vancouver from Toronto. We'll see how that goes for the Canucks. And again, I think it's a smart move. It's entertaining too because it's the same team doing it again. Toffoli. So speaking of injuries and the season that's just been such a grind for so many teams, Tyler Toffoli missing the 3-game series against the Oilers. So if you're an Oilers fan, that's good news because Tyler Toffoli scores a bunch of goals. Hot and cold, but man, those hot streaks are fantastic, especially against Vancouver. But he started scoring against other teams as well. And so that's tough for a Montreal team that does have instances where they have trouble with their scoring. And so we'll see how it goes. Very, very important series coming up. And how they come out of that series could decide whether or not they're in the driver's seat or if they need help to get into the playoffs. I mean, they've helped themselves with those 9 overtime or shootout loss points, right? But yeah, now they're going to have to do without Foley. Vitaly Kravtsov. So if you're a Rangers fan and you're all gung-ho about Kravtsov joining the lineup, I don't necessarily blame you for that. The Rangers are an interesting team in that they seem to be doing everything they can to catch up to other teams in the division. Now they got a game against Buffalo tonight. And yeah, they're everything seems to be looking up for the Rangers. And adding Kravtsov potentially could be great. Keep in mind that with young players coming in, we just don't know. You can make your best guess, but it's impossible to tell which ones are going to hit right away and which ones are going to take a little bit longer. So yeah, for Kravtsov, we'll see how things go for him with the Rangers. He'll join the team likely tomorrow. He's going through COVID protocols, which includes cardiac tests today, so he likely joins the team tomorrow. So the Flyers, we've talked about their goaltending. Tonight, Brian Elliott's going to be the starter. Alex Lyon's going to be the backup. Carter Hart, the plan is to start him tomorrow. So the Flyers, who have long been labeled as a goalie graveyard, and I've done videos on where the goalie graveyards. There was a whole playlist on where they are and where they're not. I still think Carter Hart, as the years go by, I think Carter Hart's going to be the guy. I think that the amount of pressure put on a 22-year-old kid is, and again, with goaltending, it's different. It is different. It's the reason that goaltenders usually come into the league later. The amount of pressure on a goaltender is so much more than for forwards. Forwards, you can drop them down to the fourth line. Guys not playing all that well, top six, you can just drop them down to bottom six. Goaltenders, you're either in or you're not. So hopefully Hart gets things straightened out, and the Flyers as well. I thought this was interesting. I saw this. So for people in Vegas, because basically it's for people in Vegas, they're selling game used sticks at the Arsenal, and that's for $100. So I don't know if they're all $100. I don't believe they're signed. I think they'd be a little more expensive if they were signed. But odds are they've got the name on the tape on the stick. Kind of fun. And if I was in Las Vegas and if I didn't have to worry about trying to explain to TSA why I've got a stick, Although I have to say that when we were coming back from California and had a lightsaber, apparently coming out of Disneyland with a lightsaber is considered to be kind of normal, and nobody says anything. But yeah, I probably would pick one up for myself if I could, because it's kind of interesting, for $100. Just yeah, that's the guy's stick, and you could kind of mount it on the wall or whatever you want to do. I don't know, play with it. I guess. I probably wouldn't. I'd be worried, like, this stick is one slap shot away from being broken, and now I broke it, and now I spent $100 for something that's broken. I could have got a broken stick for free. So yeah. So if you're a Vegas fan and you're like, I wouldn't mind a game used stick for one of the players, head on down to the Arsenal, $100. I will say that when we've gone to Vegas, I've always enjoyed going to their stores, both the team store, the Arsenal, and just they've got two different ones. So if you're at the practice rink, it's a completely different one than if you're at T-Mobile. I would recommend checking both of them out. I mostly went there for hats, because that's kind of what I do, is go for and all the little trinkets, all the little Vegas Golden Knight trinkets that I could find, because new team and didn't really have any Vegas trinkets at the time. All right, there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support, and I will talk to you again soon.